Hi, I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's call. My name is Duncan Driscoll. I'm in Blacksburg, Virginia, serial entrepreneur, and I hope one day to be able to talk with you or meet you. And tonight we're just going to tell some stories, firsthand stories about how people's lives have been affected by this incredible company called Isagenix. This is a company that's doing about $1 billion in sales. They're expanding quickly around the world. And their goal is to really improve people's lives, to help people get healthier and solve some problems there. And for those that are interested in business, solve some financial problems as well. So I'm going to open up, and some other people are going to share their personal experiences. A friend of mine called me to tell me about this company. That's how it works. We share things that we love with people that we love, with family members and friends, and that's exactly what happened. I've known Herb Cepeda for 30 years. He called me to tell me about this company, and that he and his wife were doing very well, that they were the top earners in the world with this company, Isagenix, and earning about $50,000 a week. And he knew that I was an entrepreneur, and we'd been in business together in the past, and I made over $1 million with another company that we were involved with 30 years ago, and I had a tremendous amount of respect for Herb and Patty. And he shared with me, and I said, Herb, I'm in. And so I had a product experience. I had been in a motorcycle accident. I broke 7 ribs. 8 months later, I was still sore, but I knew I had to do something with my health. I didn't like the way it was going. I had a difficult time just moving around. And I decided to put the product to the test. And I entered a 16-week body transformation contest, and I lost about, I don't know, maybe 18 pounds of body fat, and I put on about 16 pounds of muscle in 16 weeks, and my transformation was off the charts. You would look at my before and after and think I must have been doing something illegal, but I wasn't. It was this great product line. So I was on the phone with a very close friend of mine this afternoon, and if it wasn't for my friend Mike, I wouldn't have met my wife. And I've been married 30 years, 3 kids. And he told me about a good friend of his and a neighbor who passed away this afternoon of a heart attack. He was about in his mid-60s, had a very successful business. He applied some type of electrostatic coating to the hulls of ships. And he left behind a wife and 3 children. And, it just got me to thinking how important health is, and we take our health for granted. And so, by reaching out to you, whoever's listening to this now, you're having an opportunity, you're going to get an opportunity to maybe be motivated to make a change in your lifestyle. And that's exactly what this company has to offer. They've got product solutions that help you make a change in your lifestyle towards better health. And do it, if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your family. You owe it to your family to be healthy, your kids, your grandkids, and even if you're not married yet, to your wife, your future wife or husband, take time out to be healthy. And this is a way to do that. And so I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine, Chuck Williams, fantastic guy, great businessman. He loves the Lord, loves people. And, I just want to maybe, Chuck, you could share a little bit about your experience on this product line, and then how this has affected other people that that you've shared it with, and we can go from there.
All right. Thank you, Duncan. Appreciate your sharing, and thank you for your leadership. And yes, I'm a product of this product. I basically was turned on to this as a customer, and I needed to lose about 10 pounds in my mind. And it turns out in a very short period of time, I was able to shed a net of 23 pounds of fat, net 23 pounds. I literally went from being in the obese category down to my high school football weight in a very short period of time. And so that really turned me on to the effectiveness of the weight loss program. It was a little while later I decided to make this a business. When I made it a business, I saw people walk across stage at an event that had major transformations, like Duncan was explaining his own. And I saw that, and there was one 61-year-old man from Hawaii, Randy Peters, and I saw his transformation. And he went from a thin, no muscular guy to a very well-built guy. And I literally told my wife at that time, I'm going to use the performance products and transform my body physically. And I'm not showing you this to show off. I just want to show you that I gained 2 inches in each of my biceps in a very short period of time, like 2 months, 60 days. 2 inches in my biceps gained, just amazing. Well, as I kept working on the gym, my wife and I enjoy that. We met a gentleman by the name of Steve Williamson. And Steve and I got to talking, and it was just a friendly conversation. You couldn't help but notice the guy was kind of overweight. I'll let him tell his own story. But he was working out hard, and you can definitely tell he was strong. Steve, why don't you kind of tell us what this has done for you in your life? So, Steve Williamson, love to hear your story.
Thanks, Chuck. I was going to the gym 5 to 6 days a week, and you know, and working out hard. And but I was eating whatever I wanted to eat, when I wanted to eat it, and as much as I wanted to eat. No matter how much I worked out, I was weighing between 280 and 288. Say 285 was my median weight when I met you. And what's worse is I had just got down to 222 pounds using the Slim 180 deal, and it was costing me $500 a week, and they were wanting me to spend more money. And the funny thing is, I had to get down to 222 to fit into 38-inch jeans. And once I quit that Slim 180, the weight came on faster than a snowball rolling downhill. I mean, I was back up to 285 from 222. And when I met Chuck at the gym, he mentioned to me a week later after I seen him at church about the Isagenix products. And I was already feeling a little discouraged from the last one, losing that weight and putting it back on in 3 months. And Chuck said, you know what? It's a money back guarantee. If you don't like it, it don't work. You don't have to pay for it. I told him, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll try it for a month. And in the first month I used Isagenix, which was 2 Septembers ago, I lost 20 pounds in the first 30 days I used the products. And that's 2 shakes a day and 1 meal. And my 1 meal was probably 1,000 calories. But I was working out at the gym every day. And what really, really impressed me is I lost 20 pounds in that first month. And I hit my all-time high on a bench press at 225 for 2 full reps. I mean, that was more than I did as a freshman in college. And I'm thinking, there's got to be something to this stuff. And I just kept on it. And once I hit a weight I liked, I stabilized it for a couple months by just doing 1 shake a day and eating what I wanted. And then I'd go back to hitting 2 shakes a day. And presently this morning, I weighed 207 pounds. And I went from just falling, breaking all the snaps and springs on 46-inch dress pants, sending projectiles into the air, and now I'm have to have a belt to keep 36-inch jeans on my waist. So I mean, I can't take much credit. I mean, yes, I do the working out. Chuck and I do a workout 4 times a week on the Total Gym for our and I do a couple more a week. But the Isagenix just allows the weight and not lose muscle, which is that's very important.
Hey, Steve.
And then when I jumped on the performance,
Steve, you're kind of breaking up, and I don't want to lose you. So let's get this next part of your story in real quick. When I met you, you told me that you had trouble walking up the stairs. You couldn't carry your granddaughter up the stairs because of the physical shape your body was in. And you just about 10 days ago accomplished a feat that very few people have ever accomplished. You want to share with us that transformation in performance from 2 years ago to 10 days ago?
Well, I had carrying weight around my waist was so detrimental to my low back. That's what was causing my problems. And once I got the weight off, it allowed me to start doing a lot more I hadn't done before. And then once I started on the whole performance set, it's unbelievable just how much more you to let your body do when you're getting everything your body needs to train properly.
And so what did you just accomplish 10 days ago?
I took my 3rd-degree black belt test, which is at this organization it's it's more than just a test. It's you have to prove that you have the heart to go through the whole thing. It was 4.5 hours. You were there, so you know, but I totally soaked a 14-ounce cotton duck gi top, was totally soaked with sweat. I had nothing left at the end, and that was the whole point. They wanted to take me to a place where there was nothing left to see if I had the heart to keep going, and I did. And if I laugh or cough, you'll see me cringe. I've got some good bruised ribs, but I know that I would have never been able to even come close to completing that exam without Isagenix and the training. I mean, I used the products training for the last 6 months. I used the products while I was in there trying to keep me going to the best I could. I can't say enough of what proper nutrition will do for your body. And then when you're training, to get the proper nutrients for your training with our performance line, the BCA plus, the recover, the nitro. I mean, I just don't think I could have got in the shape I was in without the help of these products throughout the way.
Congratulations from all of us. And just a little disclaimer here. When Steve was sharing his story with you, he got excited and told you the amount of weight he lost in the first 30 days. And that's an exceptional success story. Everybody's body is different, and so you cannot base your results on his results. We will tell you this, though, that your results are guaranteed. You'll love these products so you can get your money back. So, Steve, great job. We're extremely proud of you, and keep up the great work. You are truly an ambassador for what these products can do in a person's life. It is literally at your mid-50s now, giving you your life back. So we're proud of you, buddy. Good job.
Thank you much, Chuck.
Let's move over to another guest. Linder Scott is here with us. And Linder has become a friend of mine through a mutual friend. CC President actually introduced the two of us. And Linder has a little different story about her experience and her favorite product. So Linder, why don't you take the stage for a minute here and just quickly share your story. Tell us a little about your background and how you experienced these products in your body.
Hi, Chuck. Thank you. Yes, we do have a mutual friend, CC President, and CC knew that I had lost a lot of weight. And so I was telling her I was just tired. I still felt tired, even though I had dropped weight. And so she introduced me to Isagenix. And so I began to take the products, and I started to read about the products, especially the one that says the immune booster. And the reason why I was interested in the immune booster is because the same year that I became, start purchasing Isagenix, that's the same year that I lost my job. So I started taking the shakes and the immune booster. And so I really was taking the immune booster to keep me healthy, because when I lost my job, that means I lost my health insurance, right? So I started using these products, and I was faithful, I'm still faithful using the products. You know, I'm not claiming that the products are a miracle worker, but I'm just telling you what they did for me. So I continued to use the immune booster, and I started watching how the products was, just affecting my body. And then I noticed that by the end of 2018, the December, I went through the fall and I did not have any problems with my sinuses. And I usually have sinus infections in the fall and in the spring. There was no sinus infection. So then I just constantly started watching my body and watch how I react to it. And then I noticed that during that winter of 2018, I did not have a cold or flu or anything. Okay, so I'm still using the immune booster. I'm still taking my shakes twice a day, all that. And so this kept going like a cycle. And so for 2 years, I have not had a sinus infection. And normally I would be in the doctor's office twice a year, heavily on medication because of my sinuses. And I owe it really all what I've been using consistently are the shakes and the immune booster. So I know that that product has really significantly been a blessing to my body. And so why should I stop using something that I know that works for me? So finally, when I got a job and get the health insurance, and so because I work in healthcare, they want you to have the flu shot. And I'm thinking, why do I need the flu shot? Because I've taken I'm on Isagenix and I'm taking the immune booster, but you can't go to your HR person and say, I'm on Isagenix and I'm taking the immune booster and I don't need the flu shot, okay? So I had noticed even when I took the flu shot before that I would have a reaction to the flu shot, that I would come down with a cold. This time when I took the flu shot, there was nothing. So I am crediting everything to the immune booster. And it has been a blessing to my body. Like I said, I'm not claiming it's a miracle worker, but it has been a miracle worker for me. So thank you.
Linda, great story. We're proud of your success. And I'll tell you, like she said, we're not claiming the products are miracle products. We are just claiming that when you get the right nutrition in your body, it allows your body to be the miracle that God developed it to be. Those two testimonials, they kind of knew we were going to ask them to give those testimonies. The next few people did not know we were going to ask. But I'm going to ask a few more of my friends to just share their experience. Brian Aldrich, if you're able to take yourself off mute, you got a great story, my friend. Basically, Brian, I did not know this when I met with Brian, but he had some very serious health issues and had paid a nutritionist. I think you told me like $5,000 to help you with a solution. And I'll let you tell your own story if you're able. So Brian, if you can unmute yourself and share your story, I think people would love to hear it.
Okay, Chuck. Yeah. Isagenix has really been a blessing for us. We looked for 5 years. My wife and I looked for 5 years to a nutritionist and everywhere just to get some energy. We had them telling us, that we did have some digestion problems. And so we recognized that. And so, I tried this one nutritionist that had to pay him $5,000 for it, and that wasn't working. And so Chuck called me the next week, says, let's meet for breakfast. And he was in the nutrition business after I asked him, what he was doing. And so I said, I'll try anything. I'll just try anything. And so we tried it for a couple of weeks, and the people at work could not believe I had so much energy. And so I gained so much energy, and my wife says, hey, 2 shakes a day, this is better than cooking. This is so convenient. And so and she loves it, and I love it. She's down to her high school weight, and I'm headed that direction, and build up some muscle using the AMP products. They're just tremendous. So it's really motivating us to exercise, walk 3.5 miles every day, and end the workout with recovery and nitro. So it's been tremendous. I don't know what we'd do without it.
That's great, Brian. Do you mind sharing your age? Because this is a way for a lot of people that are baby boomers to literally enjoy their golden years. Do you mind sharing your age with everybody?
Yeah, we're 72 and headed for 90.
Amen, brother. Thank you for sharing. Really appreciate you doing that. I want to go up to Chicago. Again, this was not prearranged, but Pam, I know you've got a great transformation story. Would you mind sharing your story with our audience?
Sure, I'd be glad to. When I first started on the program, when Chuck introduced it to me, I had spent the last 3 years or so trying to drop that certain stage of life seems to drop on women. Up until that point, I had always been able to stay within 10 or 15 pounds of my high school weight just by engaging some of the things I had in my toolbox that always worked for me. And it was like when I hit that stage, my body kind of did, thumbed its nose at me and said, okay, it's time to pack on the weight. And nothing worked anymore. So after a couple of years of, trying to bear the various things, I just kind of threw up my hands and gave up and decided, okay, I guess I'm just going to be a fluffy grandma. And at that point, Chuck introduced me to Isagenix, and I decided, well, what have I got to lose except a few pounds? I'll give it a try. But nothing's worked so far, so I'll give it a shot and we'll see what happens. And very shortly, I I dropped 20 pounds and 3 dress sizes. And I was back at my happy weight, feeling great. And I just can't say enough about the program because it's a very healthy, well-balanced, quality ingredient product. As a caboose to all that, I will also add in that with this year, with the COVID and all that, I think I kind of fell off the wagon for a while. And the first thing I did when we had the national shutdown is starting to bake artisan bread, which was a big mistake. So I managed to put on a few pounds, but I just finally, after we completed our household move 30 miles west, which was not a fun ordeal, but now that we're done with that, I finally reached the point where I can buckle down and get back to the program again. And I'm back down within 2 pounds of that weight, and I'm planning on blowing right by it before Christmas. So it's a great product, and I'm never going to be without it.
Okay, keep reminding myself to unmute myself. Great job, Pam. Appreciate that. And hold on one second here. All right, there are several more people on our Zoom today that could give awesome testimonials. I see all of you, and I apologize that I can't get to all of you in a short, limited time. But I want to wrap up with Troy Pratt. Troy's another friend of mine who has a very unique story. Troy, why don't you share your product testimony, please?
All right, great. Well, I can almost focus on one particular product, and it's Isagenix. So my situation is I'm currently 55, but from the time I was in high school, I've been kind of an exercise junkie, specifically endurance events, and I've done those my entire life, and even taken a variety of different high-quality nutritional products. Well, as happens, you know, the last maybe 10, 15 years, I was to that point where I just couldn't shake. No matter how much I exercised, I could not shake the last 10, 15 pounds. And we've been hearing a lot of this high school weight, and I was trying to do the same thing. I could never get down to it. So I started Isagenix, and specifically Isagenesis. I was initially not even on the shakes. And what I noticed was just a lot more energy and a lot more recovery from all this exercise. So I just basically amped up the amount of exercise I was doing, and the weight started falling off. And it came to this past spring, and I was at that kind of that high school weight, and I decided to do the 11-day shred from that point, and really didn't think I would lose any more weight because I was already down as lean as I'd been in many, many years, and I lost about another 8 or 9 pounds. And as importantly, it was most of this was body fat, and I dropped in the course of all this 5 or 6% body fat, and frankly, I you know, my body's never really looked like this. Even when I was in high school, I'm a lot leaner, a lot stronger, and everything else. So the main thing now, I am on 1, sometimes 2 shakes a day. But the biggest thing for me is, since the shred and I dropped down to that, it's been very, very easy to maintain weight. That's kind of the main thing. I've never had this kind of control over my weight. I can, with these products, it's just so easy. It's just a great maintenance at this point. And, you know, if I want to lose weight, put on weight, I can easily do it, making just slight tweaks in what I'm eating. So if nothing else, it's the management of my weight and the amount of energy I have at this age. I really feel 15 years younger. So I will never go without Isagenix and now the shakes. And again, that's just, as you've heard from everyone else, that's kind of scratching the surface of what this product line has. So there you go, Chuck. I hope that was enough, or not too much.
That's fine, Troy. Thank you for sharing. I want to just encourage you, if you've been listening to this recording, whether it be immune health, which is very, very important in today's environment, whether it be weight management, you heard people wanting to gain muscle, you heard people want to lose fat, if it's vitality, what we call youthful aging, if it's energy, whatever your need, Isagenix has a solution. And these are nutritional solutions that are proven and are guaranteed. So get back with the person who invited you to watch this. We'll be glad to help you set up a free preferred membership account. And with that preferred membership account, you get the same wholesale cost that we do as associates in this business. So with that, thank you for joining us, and get back with the person who invited you. Bye-bye, everybody.